So I've grabbed these Royal One Jordans Reimagined on sale for £115, which is really cheap. That's a couple of weeks after they released, which is a weird one, especially because of the fact that most Jordans pretty much sell unless they're sort of a really bad colorway. But with these, when they first announced them, I don't know what the thought process was behind it, but I saw like there was a sample version of the fragments, which is basically the same, but just had like a fragment logo at the back. But I'd imagine that would just basically push it over the edge for people to go out and purchase, because it would have the fragment name attached to it. But when these were originally announced, I wasn't sort of understanding why they would kind of basically reimagine it to the extent of having a different suede. And then you saw kind of the sort of images, the preview images of people sort of having early looks at the sneaker, and they just looked a bit off in general, and you can kind of look at them thinking what's going on kind of thing. And just wasn't a fan really. But I think, like, if it was me, kind of go, if I was designing a sneaker and you kind of go, okay, the OG Royals kind of leather, they're basically a really kind of desired sneaker, really kind of like up there in terms of classics. Why would you kind of put something with a suede texture on it, especially because you don't really want to touch an OG? I think, in my eyes, there's no reason to touch an OG if you can put a good spin on it and make it better than the original. But in this case, I don't think it quite hits that mark. It's a nice sneaker. Like, when I had it in hand, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, because of obviously seeing those sort of early images. I don't think it did itself any favors. People kind of previewing it and showing coming from straight from the factory, and it just like I said earlier, it just looks a bit off. But I think seeing them in hand and having them, I don't think they're as bad as what people think they are. I think they're actually a nice sneaker. Obviously, they're not going to touch a traditional OG Royal One. That basically is untouched, and will always be one of the greatest sneakers. But with this one, color blocking obviously is the same, and the colors are slightly different, so you get a bit more pop of blue. And I'm a fan of blue anyway, so for me, I like that. And the suede it looks quite sort of muted really. It doesn't feel like a full-on kind of brushy suede. And when you see in hand, still gives the appearance of a Royal One. Like, in terms of, and what I mean by that is that the suede isn't kind of up there in terms of like, it's really brushy suede and it just looks completely odd. This particular one, this looks quite muted. The black layers, they look all quite muted. It's only the blue ones where it's just got more of a suede texture to them. But I think it's a nice sneaker. I think it's really cool. I definitely would basically, I think they're worth the £115. You can pick them up or pick them up for less than that. I'm sure they'll probably go even more on sale because there is a shit ton out there at the moment. So yeah, I think it's cool. So the details for the Jordan 1 High Royal Reimagined, they come with the OG Bread colour blocking. It's a colour scheme is black, royal blue and white. It has a EVA cup sole with a airbag in the heel, and it's suede materials, so the suede on the toe box and on the heel side are slightly more on the furrier side, whilst the medial and the lateral and around the toe box area, that's kind of more I suppose sort of muted suede really. And the price is £190. However, I got my pair on sale for £115, which I thought was a really good price for a pair of Jordan 1s. In terms of comfort and sizing, it has a medium to firm sole, so it can be on the harder side. Don't expect it to be soft at all, to basically be like a 2002R or a Air Max trainer. It can get fatiguing after a while due to the harder sole, and there isn't much support around the arch. You still get a little bit of support, but not too much. But overall, it's a flat, sole really. Wearing time, I'd give it sort of 4 or 5 hours, slightly less than a leather pair because the suede is obviously going to be a bit softer. So expect it to be wearing quite quickly, but those marks will show anyway because of it being suede. Your foot's going to basically, especially around the forefoot area, probably end up with more creases, I guess. I would recommend going half a size up, like all Jordan 1s. I don't think there's any difference with these, but if you're obviously, again, if you're going to be wearing sort of thicker socks, then expect to have issues in terms of getting your foot in there. So yeah, in that for that reason, for wide footers, go half size up, but for everyone else it's true to size. It has great grip for all types of weather, but however the suede isn't great for a rainy day or in muddy conditions. I just want, wear it when it's sort of pouring rain outside. You're just going to ruin the sneaker. It has a classic and timeless design, again, being a Jordan 1, being a Royal as well, so it's always going to look good on feet. I would mainly wear these sort of autumn springtime and I mentioned sort of autumn because of the fact that some days it will be less rainy, so that kind of time is a good time. And being a Jordan 1 high, they're going to keep you warm, and because they don't have much ventilation. And in terms of I wouldn't really wear these for the summertime, they just get too hot, I personally think, but springtime's good as well. These are great for casual smart, but I also think because of the colour scheming being sort of predominantly black, and they kind of look more premium, I would say you could wear them more on the smarter side. So for sort of special occasions and things like that, especially if you're going out, it's a good trainer to have in the arsenal for that reason. But don't expect to wear them too much, in my opinion, unless you want to sort of get them ruined quickly. Best with black or blue laces, just because the trainer is predominantly black and with the blue on there as well, and the blue kind of pops as well. So I think you could probably tie it with a slightly darker blue as well, so just to kind of set the tone against the bright blue that's on these particular Royals. In terms of my final thoughts, the pros are it's got good colour blocking. It's a timeless trainer in that sense. In terms of cons, I think the suede material kind of goes against it because of the fact that I'm not against suede trainers in general, but if you were to say to me, do you want a standard leather Jordan 1 high Royal to be retroed, or do you want a reimagining with suede? Obviously I'm going to choose the leather, so for that reason it's a con in my opinion. It doesn't kind of better the sneaker at all. In terms of the price as well, the price being a Jordan 1, it should be a lot lower than they are, and paying sort of 180, 190 pounds or whatever it is just too much money at the moment. In terms of the sort of ratings, I would give the look and style for the trainer a 4 out of 5. When you get them in hand, you'll see the difference. They do look really nice in hand, and I think you're not going to be disappointed once you get them, especially if you get them at a good price because they're on sale. In terms of comfort, it's just a standard Jordan, so you're going to get a 3 out of 5 for that. Quality, I think it's a pair that's my pair anyway was produced really well, so I didn't sort of see too many defects or any issues really. Expect suede to have marks and creases and scuffs on there anyway, because that's the type of material it is. Pricing, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Again, it's not Jordan 1s in general are just priced too high in my opinion. And overall I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I just don't think it's that bad of a sneaker as most people have said. I actually think it's a really nice sneaker, but it's not something that you can sort of wear every day unless you kind of want to ruin them quickly.